Welcome to the Galaxy S20 Fan Edition camera review. Before I roll out this phone's camera comparisons with the S10 Lite and the Note 10 Lite, this review was important to lay out a strong basis for the upcoming videos. So here it is. If you are new on the channel, a subscription would be massively appreciated, and if you find this video good enough, hit the like button too. Okay, the S20 FE is equipped with a triple camera system, with the main camera being a 12 megapixel Samsung S5 KLD sensor. It's also got an 8 megapixels telephoto lens with 10x optical and 30x digital zoom, and a 12 megapixels ultrawide camera is there. It's using the Exynos image processing, as it's got the Exynos 990 chipset. We don't get the Snapdragon variant in our region. The camera sensors further details are on your screen. The front camera is a 32 megapixel Sony IMX616 sensor. Just to make things clear, this Sony IMX616 is the same sensor that we have seen in Samsung Galaxy A51, A71, Note 10 Lite and the S10 Lite. Camera app welcomes you with the typical Samsung One UI interface. What I like about this camera app is that there are no gimmicks. Only a single 12 megapixels shooting mode, which makes things a whole lot easy. The pixel binning cameras are gimmicky and confusing, so Samsung did us a favor by not using one of those cameras on this phone. You can go from 0.5x to all the way up to 30x. A zoom control appears on the top right corner to let you easily bring your desired scene into the frame when you are zoomed in at 30x or lower. S20 FE's front camera has a high resolution selfie option, but in this mode you won't be able to capture live focus selfies, so for that you will switch selfie resolution to 3:4 only. Live focus selfies can be taken in both the wide and the normal modes. Next are the videos. This is where you will find the true flagship characteristics of this phone. First of all, it's got the optical image stabilization, and then it has 4K at 60 frames per second followed by 4K 30, 1080 60 and 30 FPS. Ultrawide videos work in the 30 FPS mode only, and yes, you can switch between the cameras while recording a video, and you can even pause a video. Front camera also supports 4K up to 60 frames per second, and there is the Pro video mode. It's got a whole bunch of resolution options. You can even shoot in the cinema mode, which is the 21:9. Other settings of this camera are on your screen. Furthermore, the Pro mode of this phone is quite decent. It's also got the RAW shooting capability. The night mode also works with the ultrawide mode, and the telephoto lens also works with night mode. In the night mode, you can zoom up to 10x, live focus, video, pro video, and yes, the super slow-mo, my favorite one on this phone. Up until the S10 Lite, Samsung used to add a really gimmicky super slow-mo. You had only 2 seconds to act in front of the camera after pressing the record button, but on its flagship devices, Samsung gives the motion detection button, which automatically records the super slow-mo when an action takes place in front of the camera. That motion detection button is available in the S20 FE, and this even adds more to the flagship feels of the S20 FE's camera. Okay, now I have taken a huge number of photos and videos on this phone. Let's start it off with the rear camera samples. This phone takes really nice images. The images have a warm tone and a very good depth effect with shallow depth of field. But it has the capability to blow off some colors. For example, in this image, the edges of the flowers were yellow, but you can't see that. So to put things in a better perspective, let me show you the same image taken on the S10 Lite. S10 Lite's image helps you differentiate between the edges of this flower, which, as I said, were yellow. The overall final look of this image can be a subjective choice, but the S20 FE has definitely moved the colors here and there. But this does not happen all the time. Let me show you some more flowers where the S20 FE did an outstanding job. Edge detection of this phone is too good. The depth effect is amazing. It's not adding that lighter shade in the background. It's keeping everything lit, but with a very good depth effect, and I like that. Let me show this in comparison with the S10 Lite to give you a better idea once again. And now you can definitely understand what I am talking about, and with this we can move on to the S20 FE's samples only. Let's take a look at the ultra wide and the normal image, and then the 30x zoomed in image too. I wish this phone could do better with the highlights on the ground. The floor looks washed off, the image is super bright, the sunshine was too bright, but this image is extra bright. The 30x zoom works well, and here is what the telephoto lens of the S20 Fan Edition can do. This is a Galaxy S20 FE ultrawide versus a normal versus the live focus image. It's a really good image in all the modes. The ultrawide has slightly better colors, but it won't offer you the details. Check out the edge detection in the live focus mode. This is flagship material for sure. Here's another image to give you guys an idea about the details. For quite a while, I've been reviewing phones with pixel binning cameras going all the way up to 108 megapixels cameras, but on the S20 FE we have a 12 megapixels camera only. So you are not going to get those ultra high details, but the images will have an overall good look, and the color tone that can be seen here, it's not blowing off the highlights, it maintains everything well. Take a look at some indoor and the low light images. The color of the sofa is completely natural, and even that painting has a natural look. The edge detection in its normal mode is also equally good. It's separating the background and the subject really well, and it does pick up the colors accurately. It just goes south occasionally, otherwise it does quite a fine job. Here is a normal versus a live focus image. I love this image of my nieces. Check out how this phone is picking up the yellows, the reds, the white color, and the background blur in the live focus image is too damn strong. It wipes off the unnecessary edges only. Let's take a look at the night mode images, starting off with the ultra-wide non-night mode and then the night mode images. The S20 FE's telephoto lens can be used in the night mode too. It can shoot up to 10x. The night mode for this price category is fine. It brightens up the image greatly, as you can see. The non-night images lack details. These images look blurry in fact, but with the night mode turned on, the images suddenly come to life. Let me know about your thoughts on this non-night versus the night mode images in the comments below. Time to take a look at the selfies now. Selfies on this phone have a natural and a cool tone with very high details. Live focus does a great job with the depth effect and edges once again. Overall, this phone can take impressive selfies, and the last one, S20 FE's high resolution mode creates a difference for sure. The 32 megapixel selfies have a very slight pinkish tint on the face. And the last one, the non-night versus the night mode selfie. There is a clear difference with the non-night mode selfie being on the inferior side and the night mode selfie having a far better look. It's time to move on to the videos now. We will start off with the 1080p at 30 frames per second ultra wide videos. The video details will appear on your screen too. As I said earlier, this phone has OIS, so you really don't need a gimbal if your hands are super steady too. The videos have a color tone similar to what you saw in the images. I like the availability of the 60 frames per second mode for both the front and the rear cameras. 60 frames per second, however, does not work in the ultrawide mode. The 60 fps video mode works in the ultrawide mode of the iPhones, but Samsung hasn't enabled it yet. Right after these videos finish, you will be able to see the front camera videos taken on the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE. Hi guys, this is the front camera's 4K at 60 frames per second video recording on the Samsung Galaxy S20 Fan Edition. I am shooting outside in extreme sunshine to give you guys a good idea about the colors and everything else in this video, but it's a bit hard to shoot here since I am facing the sun, and if I just turn around, you guys will not be able to see me. So yeah, this is a little bit of problem here. However, do tell me how's the mic's voice recording quality and how are you finding the colors and other things in this video. Let me show you the other resolution modes of this phone. Now you're taking a look at the 4K at 30 frames per second from this phone's front camera. I wonder how hard it's going to be shoot right in the face of the sun, but I'm pretty sure you guys can see the background, and this is it. Let me show you the 1080p at 60 frames per second front camera video now. Now this is front camera's 1080p at 60 frames per second video now. I am walking so that you do know how's the stabilization of this phone. At 60 frames per second the stabilization is not that good, but I think it's still better than many other phones. Samsung has added its flagship grade camera in the S20 Fan Edition, and yeah, it looks good to me. Finally, the real resolution. This is 1080p at 30 frames per second, and the details are not going to be as good in this mode. I cannot judge this video right now because I cannot see the phone's screen. As I told you, the sun is quite bright right now, but obviously you guys are going to be the judge for the front camera videos, so I will leave this analysis on you guys. Do tell me in the comment section about the quality of these videos. And that, my friends, brings the S20 Fan Edition camera review to an end. The S20 FE overall has a very decent camera, especially a better Samsung phone in this price segment was missing for a very long time. The Samsung phones are either in the mid-range segment or the flagship phones are way too expensive, so there was definitely a dire need for something in between that offers the specifications, if not equal, at least close to that of the flagship devices. In my opinion, the S20 FE's camera is definitely a flagship grade camera. Yes, there are a few things that can still be improved, but we cannot say that this camera is a miss. This camera is definitely something worth it. I will soon do a full comparison between the S20 FE and the S10 Lite, Note 10 Lite, and maybe the S20 Plus. So wait for those comparisons to have a better idea about the S20 FE's camera, as we will be taking a look at this phone's result from a very different perspective. For now, drop your analysis and your feedback about this video in the comments below. If you liked it, thumbs up, and if you loved it, hit the subscribe button. With that said, I will sign off and see you all in the next one.